Fantastic. Good morning. It's 11 o'clock. No, it's not. It's 10 past 11. It's Facebook Live from Pinhole Quilting, our Pershore showroom. Pete is not behind the camera. He's just slightly to the right. Like you, Pete. He's taking it easy because both Pete and
I'm still off camera. That's what matters.
He says, that's what matters. No, he's lovely. He's my husband. Of course he's lovely. Anyway, welcome to Facebook Live. It's lovely to have you on board with us. I say on board. I don't know why I said that. We're not on a boat. But anyway, we are in our Pershore showroom. Definitely nowhere near the sea, even though we're at Sea Ford. It sounds like we're in the sea. You have to be a bit careful around here. We had a couple of customers. A lady and her husband came up from Ramsgate, definitely near the sea. And they drove up on Thursday, Kathy and her husband Roger. And they came to pick up a second user, lovely Sweet 16 that I demoed a couple of weeks ago, just before Festival of Quilts. And Kathy came up on the basis of my demonstration. She hadn't even used it. And Raquel, who was selling her Sweet 16 after, she had it in 2013, 8 years. And she's selling her Sweet 16, has sold her Sweet 16, and she's put a deposit down on Namara. Anyway, Kathy came up and diverted her via Seaford, the ford. And with all the rain we've had recently, they said, we're not going through the ford. And they phoned me, lost. So you just have to remember, if ever you come and visit us, do not go through the ford. And bless him, John Scott from the John Scott Show and Sewing Street, he nearly went through the ford one time. And he said, I remembered your words, do not go through the ford. So just remember that. I do put it on every email if people come here. Anyway, Pete and I, we were at Festival of Quilts last weekend, and we've been recovering ever since. Haven't we, Pete?
I'm just starting to feel normal.
It's
been a busy week.
I am only just starting to feel normal. I've used various analogies. It's not easy to say that. Yes. Various analogies. And I think one of them was, I feel like I've been hit by a 10-ton truck that hit me, then reversed. Hit by train. That was a high speed, but possibly the bullet train from Japan. I think trains, planes and automobiles, all three methods of transport have hit me. I mean, seriously, we'd forgotten, hadn't we? We'd forgotten exactly how completely, I'm going to use the word, knackering a show is in person. Lovely to see everybody, but exhausting. Exhausting. I mean, now this tells you, and this is particularly for, who was it that thought that Pershore was in Cornwall, that picked up the Moxie?
I can't remember who it was, but...
Lady who picked up the Moxie last Monday before festival, thought Pershore was in Cornwall.
Oh, it was Louise, I think.
Louise Cox. Louise thought that Pershore was in Cornwall. We literally drive up to the NEC every day and back. That's how close we are to the National Exhibition Centre. So, tomorrow I have a lovely lady coming to visit from Edinburgh.
You just can't do it without the Scottish accent, can you?
I'm shocking.
It's very disrespectful.
I'm not being disrespectful. One of my best friends, Jenny Steele, she's now married, Jenny Salmon, is from Edinburgh. I was very careful there. She's from Edinburgh, and her dear late mother and father were from Edinburgh, Morningside, very nice part of Edinburgh. She was an Edinburgh lady. She was. When back in the 50s, they used to have all of the Edinburgh ladies, and she was absolutely gorgeous. She was a model. Jenny's mother. Jenny wouldn't be a model, but her mother was. I can say that because she's my best friend. I was best woman at her wedding. Pete is holding his head in his hands. Jenny's mother was absolutely gorgeous. She was on the front page of one of the Edinburgh papers when she got engaged to the handsome young man working on the plantations in Malaysia. Anyway, I digress. Anyway, this lady's coming down from Edinburgh, and I'm picking her up at the new Worcester Parkway station, because you can now fly into Birmingham International, get the train from Birmingham International via New Street and to Worcester Parkway in an hour. It's given us an extra option, you see. So I've now put that on our website. So anybody who's flying in from Edinburgh or Glasgow or Belfast or Dublin or wherever you're flying in from that wants to come to either a workshop or our future academy 2022, details to be announced, we're working on that, we'll be able to have that as an option. And our customer who's coming tomorrow that I'm picking up and dropping back on Monday, who's coming for a demonstration, is, well, I'm not going to say guinea pig, but she is our first customer doing that. Anyway, I hope that everybody who came to Festival of Quilts enjoyed it. Have we got anybody online?
Yeah, let's say hello to a few people. So
let's say hello.
Hillary Levette was first online.
And Hillary came.
Hillary came to the show, so thank you for visiting the stand, Hillary. Yes. Linda Jackson early on. So
hello, Linda. We were chatting on Messenger very early on because your dog was up early.
So thank you, Linda, for all that you did at Festival for us, all those classes.
Teaching in the workshop. Fabulous job. Fabulous job.
Sally Mottram, good morning.
Oh, good morning, Sally.
Judy Strain. Judy's in Cambridgeshire. You on holiday, Judy?
Yeah, she said she was going. She's got a few holidays booked.
Derek.
Yeah.
Derek, I hope you've recovered. You've had a few days off.
Derek and Sandra, absolutely fantastic. Loved having you over, and I'm glad that you were okay.
Di Bell, morning, Di.
Good morning, Di.
Lindy
we will find a date, Di. We will.
Lindy Lodge watching with her two granddaughters aged 7 and 4.
Ooh.
Isn't there something better on the TV, Lindy? For your granddaughters, I mean, surely. Maya Dyer, Lynn Cook, Caroline Clark, Helen Burnham.
Caroline, isolating with your son. I hope he's feeling okay.
Adirondacks, Patricia.
Oh, hi, Pat in the Adirondacks. Beautiful part of the States. Love it up there.
We've got Anne from Drogheda in Ireland.
That's a beautiful part of the world.
And Carol Bealey was sad not to be able to join us at Festival of Quilts, but her husband is taking her to a traction engine rally as a consolation.
You see, you can't beat a traction engine rally. See, I'm saying nothing. I'm saying nothing.
Lots of people on holiday. Rachel's up in Scotland. Rachel Shaw.
Up in Scotland. You're hiking or mountain biking?
Jackie Mackey.
Hi, Jackie.
Right, yes, lots of people. And Linda says, yes, it was such hard work, and especially with the longer opening hours. That's certainly the case.
Oh, that was a bit of a... That's why we feel like we're hit by a 10-ton truck. 9:30 till 6.
And Linda says, Derek and his muscles were very welcome during doing all the heavy work.
Oh, they were. We couldn't have got the pallets up on the trailer without Derek's muscles. Oh, my life. Me and Pete couldn't have done it. Thank you, Derek.
He's still suffering today, apparently. Derek.
Oh, bless him.
Anyway, yes, lots and lots of people.
Great. Thank you for that. Right. Let's progress. So what we wanted to say was thank you to all our existing customers for saying hi. We hope you liked. I hope everybody who came did stop by and go flag and pick up their little glasses cleaner. And if you didn't, let us know. And if you order from us, we'll pop it in with your order. If you didn't, we got a little checklist of those who came. And I did just sort of remember who came by because Alan was very diligent and checked people off a list. I just did it from memory. I won't say that my memory is perfect, but it's pretty good. So what we wanted to do was just say thank you also, of course, to all the new people who stopped by that we had never met before. And we did meet some fantastic, and I'm going to say some absolutely fantastic. I think the thing that stood out for us, and also I did speak to quite a lot of other of the suppliers, not just the ones I met on the yoga mat on Saturday morning. I hope you watched the yoga. And if you didn't see the yoga, I'm going to send out an email with the link to the yoga. And this might become a regular fixture of Festival of Quilts. And the reasons I say that, I'm just laughing because it actually was hilarious. So the night before the yoga, so I went round. So what happened with the yoga is this. Paul from Fabrics Galore, and Paul from Fabrics Galore, by the way, he stocks the fabrics for the Great British Sewing Bee, because he's down in London. And he's always done that, I believe. So, you know, when you see all the fabrics on the Great British Sewing Bee, that's all Paul's fabrics. And he's a lovely, lovely guy. His family have been involved in the fabrics business for like generations. And he's a super, super laid back guy. He's lovely. So we're setting up, and Paul said, there is so much space in here, we could have a yoga session. That set my little brain just in motion. You just need to give me a little clue, and off it goes. This is what happens. People know this, because it's like, just get me a little start, and it just goes. Because I do yoga every day. I did my sun salutation this morning, full spinal twist. Pete doesn't even notice I do it. I do it quite quickly. I always do a minimum, otherwise I can't move. So anyway, I thought, oh, Paul, that is a great idea. So a day later, I said to Paul, 2 days later, I said to Paul, I like that idea. I have 8 yoga mats. Don't ask me why I have 8 yoga mats. There is a story. I ain't going to tell you what the story is. Anyway, I've got 8 yoga mats, and I've got some other bits and pieces. Cushions, some candles. So I went and saw Stuart Hillard. I thought Stuart would be right up for doing a yoga session. Stuart was right up for doing a yoga session. I went and saw Kay Fassett and Brandon Mabley, and I said, actually I saw my brother, Nick, and I said, would Kay and Brandon be up for doing a yoga session? Because he knows them better than me. And they said, yes, we will be up for doing a yoga session. I said, Nick's done yoga. He's got the right build for yoga. He got the tall, lanky jeans. I got the short, not lanky jeans. Anyway, I got one side of the family, and he got the tall jeans. Anyway, because he's like nearly 6 foot. I am not nearly 6 foot. Anyway, who else did I ask? Oh, Jo Avery. And she's got some great friends. She's got Chris English, who does Orifil, and her friend Emma from a Melbourne quilt shop, who is a total overachiever. It's ridiculous what she does. And who else did we find? Denise Harwood, who is Alan, our engineer. She was up for it. There were a couple of other people who wimped out that I won't mention, because they wimped out, as did Kay and Brandon on the day. But hey, you can only ask people. Who else? Oh, Linda Jackson. Good job, Linda. And then passing by, and Jilly Theotrikoff. Jilly used to do yoga for 20 odd years. She was a serious yoga queen. You could tell that. Thank you, Jilly. You were awesome on the mat. John Cole Morgan, who was just awesome. So the night before, I texted John Cole Morgan. I'm going to tell this story. I texted John and I said, you're definitely doing the yoga session, right? And he said, yeah, I've got all my accoutrements. I have my Martha Stewart gnome candle, a well-known accessory for yoga, and my reindeer headband to keep my hair back. I mean, only John Cole Morgan would think of bringing the reindeer headband, reindeer antlers, to hold his hair back. And also cushions and a quilt for the resting phase known as Supta Virasana, which when you watch the video, you will see that John majors on Supta Virasana. And who else was there? Oh, so we started the yoga session. We were a little bit late. And unbelievably, the Best in Show winner, Vendulka, happened to just be there. And she does yoga every week. So she joined us on the mats as well. It was awesome. So there we go. And one of the stewards said, we were doing the setup on the Monday, and one of the other stewards said, I think we need to de-stress. We need to de-stress. This is why I was doing the yoga. We need to de-stress. Let's get all the stewards together and just do a little bit of yoga. So the stewards did yoga. Anyway, we're doing the yoga session, and somebody from Immediate Live, like Upper Street Events, was taking photos. So they put it on Instagram. And they said, you should do this every year. So watch out, Festival of Quilts 2022. It's going to be a yoga session at the start, And I've never taught yoga, but I've done it so often now. And I use, because I don't really need to sort of be taught it, because I've done it since I was in Varanasi in like 1987. And I did some yoga there and learned how to do astral flying and all cool kind of stuff. So, I've done yoga for many years. So that was very, very good. So I don't really need to do it, but I use some people on YouTube, Cassandra I think she's in Ottawa, and Adrienne in Austin, Texas, who has Benji the dog. So Google them, they're very, very cool. Anyway, let's go back to quilting.
So Annette's suggesting that you should do a bit of yoga on a Saturday morning, but that doesn't really work, does it?
It doesn't really
Maybe
work.
On a Zoom session so that we can see what you're doing.
Now listen, this leads in nicely, because after the session, there were a couple of people who couldn't do the yoga that really wanted to do the yoga. And one of them was Jo Avery's friend. Oh, what's her name? Jo Avery's friend.
She's got lots of friends, so I don't know which one you're thinking of.
I'll have to look her up on Instagram. So Jo Avery, Stuart Hillard, and her friend, whose name I've just forgotten. I only just met her, Sarah somebody, commented in a book called Healthy Quilting. Rose, I'll have to get these names, Rose somebody and Sarah somebody. Okay, Rose and Sarah. And this book by Rose, Healthy Quilting, I am so into healthy quilting. And I couldn't believe this is very, very timely, because we know how you stand at your machine and then the next day you think, oh, my feet are killing me. Not good, people. And also Kelly Klein, who's a Handi Quilter ambassador, she got everybody who was at our academy up and doing exercises. And Abigail and I raised this at the foundation workshop. And Nikki Ellis, who was on one of the foundation workshops, she was teaching us to do this thing where you sort of, I was rubbish at it, where she teaches it in classes where she gets the kids to do something where you pat your head and rub your stomach and change over. And it gets your brain sort of relaxing and things like that. And there are timers on your machines. And it's so important. We talk about it. We stop at lunchtime for an hour for a very good reason. You must step away from your machine. And I am going to be getting in touch with Rose. I've already posted on her Instagram page how important healthy quilting is, because I've got this pain-free book. I'm going to mention it again, pain-free, Egoscue technique. This saved me because I have broken my back twice, and that's why I do yoga every day. Pain-free by Peter Egoscue. It's on Amazon. I don't get paid for this. Pain-free. This got me back moving again after I herniated and ruptured a disc as a result of a wedge fracture of my T6. And I also broke a facet joint. So that got me back into yoga, 9-10 years ago. And I did my cruciate. I mean, I'm just a mess, but I'm not a mess because I am mobile and I do all this stuff because muscles hold your spine together. I could go on forever, but I'm going to focus on it. And I really hope that you join me on the healthy quilting journey. This is the launch of it today.
Okay, Maya, thank you for that. It was indeed Sarah Ashford.
It was Sarah Ashford.
Right.
She's lovely.
Milo says that Tai Chi would be a good idea too. Why not?
Oh, yes. Tai Chi. And there is a fantastic online e-learning thing I found on Tai Chi. I did do Tai Chi for a while. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Lee Form was very good. And there's Wu as well. But I just found one recently. And yes.
And Sally says that Healthy Quilting actually has a website.
Yes. We are going to do this together, everybody. This is a new movement, and it's Healthy Quilting and Rose, and I'm happy to promote anybody and any website that gets everybody feeling better.
Yeah, and Tricia has also recommended Tai Chi and also Qigong, which I don't know.
Qigong. Qigong. This is all linked. So my dad is into Reiki. He's a Reiki master. I really think that Tai Chi really helps all of the chi moving in your body, and it all helps the chakras, which is also linked in with yoga. Good stuff. There we go. It's very, very linked. Energy. Fantastic. This is good. This is good. I'm sure a lot of our customers understand a lot of these elements and elements, 5 elements, acupuncture. It's all linked. When you don't have energetic flow, that's when you get problems. And that's what Tai Chi, acupuncture, in some ways acupressure, and also homeopathy tries to solve. So these are all very, very good things to talk about. And I'm a very big proponent of those things. Allopathic medicine, in its own way, is also very, very important, but we can focus on healthy quilting. Great. We're going to be there, helping you along the way, just steering you in directions that hopefully will get you doing quilting healthily. Right, so I've got pages of other stuff. We didn't talk about healthy quilting at all, did we, Pete?
It's not even on your list.
It's not on my list, and it's already half past. We'll get there. We'll get there. So what we wanted to talk about was what we felt about the show is that we really wanted to talk about what we feel makes us different and why we feel we had a good show. And one of the things that we probably don't shout loud enough about is what makes us different. And it's one of the things that when people came up to us at the show, some people said, this person, Jane, Helen, Joe, whoever, has said, you must go over and talk to Liz and Pete at Pinhole Quilting if you want a long arm. And then, we need to find out why Helen, Jane, Joe, or whoever have said, come over to Pinhole Quilting. And the reason is, in many cases, is that it's the support, it's the education, it's the training, because we don't just sell you a long arm. And that is very, very important. I have sold hand quilting frames, machine quilting frames, not just Handi Quilter ones, but I have sold other brands. And I had a choice. I could have sold other brands over the years. I have decided to sell Handi Quilters. And I'll go into that in a little bit more detail in a second. But the thing that I really want to focus on is when my dad and I, when I was at the cotton patch, had the opportunity, a very, very large manufacturer, American manufacturer, of long arm sewing machines phoned us up before Festival of Quilts in 2008, and said, just literally a month before Festival of Quilts, I don't think you even know this, Pete. You might not know this. 2008, and we did know him. And in fact, I have seen him at Festival of Quilts a few times since, because he knows Handi Quilter very well. And he said, he spoke to myself and my dad. And he said, we've booked a stand at Festival of Quilts, and we would like a UK distributor. And my dad spoke to him, and my dad said, right, that's fine, but is it CE certified? And the guy said, what does that mean? And my dad explained it to him. And my dad has a very, very good background in computing and CE certification and everything. And the guy said, no, it's not CE certified, but we can get it in. We know we can get it in. And my dad said, no, it's not CE certified. And my dad said, we won't do it if it's not CE certified. And the guy said, okay, well, we got to stand anyway, so we'll sell it direct. And my dad said, okay, that's fine. You do it your way, but I won't do it unless it's CE certified. So we wanted to do a long arm. I had gone over to Houston with my dad, with my mum and dad, and I saw a very, very big brand, and I wanted to bring that one in, but it wasn't CE certified, so we didn't bring that one in. The year after, my dad was at Houston, and he met Handi Quilter. And we liked them, and they liked us. And in 2010, we started dealing with Handi Quilter. So there are 3 other brands that have approached us over the years. And in fact, one was even last year.
Yeah, just 18 months ago.
18 months ago, another brand that was at the show this year emailed us and said, we're interested in you distributing our product. We know that you've got the expertise, and we'd be interested in you distributing our product for us in the UK. So we said, okay, well, that's very flattering of you. Thank you very much. And are your machines CE certified? Or are you going to get them CE certified? I think this is something like, yes, we are going to get them CE certified, actually. Do you remember that? I think they said.
They did.
They did say, yes, we will. And they haven't. And they chose somebody else. Because I guess that person was prepared to bring in non-CE certified products?
Yes, I think it's worth just saying, for the benefit of some of our US or non-UK people who are listening in, that this certification is all to do with health and safety standards and electrical standards, which are very much more stringent in the UK and in the European Union than they are in the States. So actually, it's illegal for businesses in the UK to sell products that don't meet those standards.
To consumers.
To consumers.
There is a get out. I tell you exactly. Now, I know Pete didn't want me to mention this, but very, very briefly. No, but just very, 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 very briefly, my dad happened to be involved in the 1990s with the actual legislation. He was involved in the European Computer and Trading Association as Director General in the computer industry at a very high level. He was an expert witness against IBM with antitrust and in the EU in formulating the law regarding CE certification. What are the chances of that? I happen to know a lot about this. 1,000,000 to 1 chance. There you go. Unlucky for some, lucky for us, that I happen to know a lot about it. So my dad actually formulated the electromagnetic compatibility guidelines for the EU. I've never told anybody else that. So that's why we know so much about it. So the CE mark that's very, very important in the EU, that's a bit like your United Laboratories mark in the States, there's similar things in Australia and Japan, is really important because it protects consumers. So you can't actually take a non-CE certified machine to a consumer show. So if you see a computerized machine on a stand that is not CE certified, it's actually illegal. Okay, so moving on. Handi Quilter is really good like that. They certify everything. We don't put anything out there that isn't CE certified. And they're the only brand that has CE certified equipment. So that's why we're really proud to actually sell Handi Quilters, because they are very, very hot on that, and you'll find all the certification on the back of their machines, and all the Japanese and all the Australian. And I think that kind of level of detail, that level of support, and that level of follow through for the consumers is incredibly important. And we're very, very proud to be Handi Quilter retailer in the UK. Okay, bit technical, but that's what we do. We like to know what we're doing. We like to know all the bells and whistles. We like to know that technically we have got everything ticked in every box. One of the other things about Festival is that we got some fantastic feedback. I was going to get Pete to read out the email, but actually we just would like to thank you. If you have got any feedback, Google or Facebook, we'd love it if you could feedback to us or feedback publicly, because there's nothing better for customers who are looking for a long arm than to see other people who've been in a similar situation. It gives them a warm feeling that they're in the right place. So if you have bought from us, we're going to be doing a survey, and there'll be some links on there. So if you have got the time and you feel that you've got good service from us and you want to share that experience, we would love it if you could do a survey and just feedback on either Google or Facebook. Thank you. So that was 2021. I know some of you didn't feel comfortable. I really appreciate those of you who did come, because as you can tell from the fact we're so exhausted, it was pretty knackering. But we've got exciting plans for Festival of Quilts 2022. I spent a bit of time talking to the organisers. Bit of time? Yeah, quite a lot of time talking to the organisers. We've got really exciting plans for 2022. We were the only class with we were the only company with a stand-up long arm class at 2021, with 6 Amaras, which are one of our nicest. We think it's one of our nicest machines, and you know, those classes they're not about selling. We're not trying to sell you a long arm. They're about education and training. We don't put in brochures. There's no price lists. We give you some freebies. We want you to enjoy the experience. Okay, so, and from what the feedback was, I'm going to send out a separate review thing on the classes that's separate to what you might have done with the Festival of Quilts people. But yeah, you very kindly gave us your email. That doesn't go on our newsletter or anything. This is completely separate. I just would love to get some feedback from you, from those of you who attended the classes. Okay. Congratulations to the winner of the Handi Quilter Best in Show Award, Vendulka and Olivier Battais. Vendulka runs a quilt shop in Suffolk. She and her husband run that quilt shop together. I saw actually a fantastic cake. They were all celebrating with Vendulka in the quilt shop. I saw on Facebook today, and they won from Handi Quilter. They supply the award, but also the prize money, which is fantastic, £3,500. That's worth winning for the Best in Show. So congratulations to you guys. I mean, I think there is no doubt that it was a very worthy winner. It was a standout quilt called Our Ladies, representing their customers. And I, like many others, couldn't help but buy some of those beautiful pens that they did all the beautiful feathers with. So I've got them over on my desk over there. And Vendulka, I'll be watching some of your videos on how to do that. I'm looking forward to doing a mandala and quilting that up. That will be some nice relaxation that I will be looking forward to when I get a day off. So the other winners, I just wanted to mention some of the winners that are Handi Quilter owners. So congratulations to Abigail Sheridan de Graaff, BEM, winner of the Modern Quilt, with that stunningly, beautifully executed, fantastic example of modern quilting. Well done, Abigail. And congratulations also to Nicole Rollo. Yeah, I should say Abigail quilted that on her Amara. Nicole Rollo, for the novice quilt category, also quilted on her Amara. That was a fantastic quilt. And I remember the day that Nicole came in here and I put that on top of our gallery frame and took some photos of you with it. I must dig out those photos. I just couldn't believe that you had quilted that. The stack and whack design, and then you'd quilted it. And it's like, how long have you had this machine? I mean, seriously? But you always had that potential. I mean, when Pete came back from your installation, he just went, she's very determined. She's saying that she wants to do this, and you know, she's a very determined person. So congratulations, Nicole. When you have that ambition and determination, and then the follow through, that is what you can achieve. And I sat down with, I'm going to mention her in a moment, with Ola from Poland, who won in the beginner quilt category. And we sat in front of your quilt. I told you this. And I sat in front of your quilt and I said, right, this is what you can achieve with the long arm. There you go. You see, you're an inspiration for other people now. Congratulations to Linda Jackson with her 3rd place in a very tough category of the traditional. You got third place. And I think that was a fabulous quilt. And so many people congratulated you on that whole cloth. It was absolutely stunning. And I believe you got a third place also 2 years ago. But it is a stunningly difficult category to win in. But the winner was a beautifully executed quilt. So I congratulate you on that quilt that you made. Absolutely beautiful. And, in our classroom, there was all that inspiration around. And I've got some pictures from the video, and I took some other stills as well. We'll put them on the slideshow when I get time to get the photos off my camera. So you can see, those of you who didn't come to festival, you'll be able to see the photos of the classroom surrounded by inspiration. Best in show from the Mancuso, best in world from the Mancuso, and also some of Abigail's beautiful quilts that she had up there, as well as Linda's. Okay, so one of the other quilts, I just wanted to mention, Brenda Rowe, you did a quilt, fireflies, 3 customers I was walking around, and they asked me, how did you do the fireflies themselves on your quilt? I think, is it like a resistance technique? Can you put it on our Facebook page, please? Just a quick one there. Right, if you haven't read my blog post yet on the beginner quilt person, who is amazing, that I sat down because she said, she came up to the stand, it was late on Sunday, and her opening line was, why didn't you do a video of me when you were doing all the videos of all the winners? Why did you miss my quilt? And so it went on from there. Read the blog. It was an interesting meeting, and she is an amazing person. And it's been a pleasure to meet her, and she made my festival. So there we go. That is a roundup. Festival of Quilts 2021. A memorable year. The Festival of Quilts was the very first show of any kind post-COVID. That is quite something. The very first show at the NEC. In fact, I wonder how many shows, Pete, of that size have been run in the UK.
I don't know. There are a couple of other shows going on at the NEC now, but most big shows have been cancelled for the whole of August and much of September as well at the big exhibition venues in the UK. So it might well be the spring before many of those shows are back.
Yeah. Really.
But Festival, to be fair, they pressed ahead. They were always optimistic that they would get a show on, and they did. It wasn't quite the same this year. Far fewer people, far fewer suppliers, yes. But it was great. I loved it. I loved doing the shows.
Yeah, we got a real buzz out of it, didn't we?
We did.
I think we all did.
Yeah, it's just the aftermath, and we're still surrounded by the aftermath. So I'm not going to turn the camera around.
Literally, we have 1,500 square feet. It's only this bit that's tidy. It's like the newsroom at the BBC. It's like chaos all around. It's hilarious. You don't even want to look. Right, let's talk about classes, workshops. I got some of the workshops up this morning for Abigail's workshop starting in September. You cannot order them yet. 3 o'clock today, they will be available to order. And I will make them available. So there are various ones. There's foundation. I must make sure I don't get biro on my white trousers. Keep playing with that pen. It's very annoying. Right, foundation, the 21st of September, which is a Tuesday. Foundation Plus on the 22nd of September, that's a Wednesday. There's an additional foundation. You'd have to remember these. I'm just going to quickly run through them. Foundation on the 12th of October. They'll all be online on the handiquilter.co.uk website shortly. Foundation on the 12th of October, and that's a Tuesday. If you've bought a machine from Pinhole Quilting, or if you bought a second user and it came with a free class, that's if you bought it from us, or via our website, I should say. You might have bought it from somebody else, but it was advertised on our website. We sometimes, as an incentive, include a free class. And the reason we do that is because we want you to have a good experience of Handi Quilter. So we throw in a foundation workshop. Oh, those Avantis, there were 2 Avantis, 3 Avantis? 2 Avantis. There was Andrea's with a pro stitcher. There was the other one that's just gone with a pro stitcher.
The ones that have just sold, yes. Yeah. There were 2 Avantis with pro stitcher. Yeah. They both sold very quickly.
And a Sweet 16.
Sweet 16 sold.
That's gone.
Yep.
We've got 1 Sweet 16 up in Scotland available for demonstration with the owner. Have a look on our website if you'd like a Sweet 16. And if you're located up in that area, then that would be a good one for you. So those have all gone. They've all gone. And if you've ordered a machine recently, one of those workshops would be good. But we've also got rulers, feathers and fills, and we've got a Dream Big workshop with Abigail, and we've got a table runner project workshop with Abigail as well. So have a look at those. They'll be live on the website shortly. We're going to get those all up, and they'll be available to order from 3 p.m. today. Now, I've mentioned that. Linda's Academy event, the details for that I'm thrashing out with Linda this coming week. The way that it will work is we're taking details of people who are interested. There is far more interest than there are places. So we are going to have some kind of...
We have to think about how we do it. But
We're not going to do it where the first come, first serve on a booking system, because it favours people who have got a fast broadband. We don't like that, because it's a bit unfair if you've got a satellite broadband, if you happen to be in a camper van in the middle of North Wales when the booking opens. So we're going to do it a bit fairer than that. There might be like a registration, and then we do like a lottery. I don't know. We're just going to go. Pete's got some ideas about how to do it much more fairly than that. And we will be getting these details absolutely hammered out this week. So we've got a fantastic venue here, and we've got a fantastic venue where you can stay, but it's not for everybody because it's not quite big enough to have all of the lovely cabins overlooking a gorgeous lake. Only 10 minutes away from here. And I've talked it over with Linda, but we're going to hammer out all the details. The way it works is, if you're staying and you'll be residential, you'll arrive Monday evening. You don't have to have dinner that evening, but you'll get breakfast the following morning. You'll come here and you'll have your full day Tuesday, and then you'll have an inclusive dinner, should you wish to. Lunch will be catered every day. Then it'll be the same the next day, Wednesday, then the Thursday and the Friday. So if you want to go for a fully inclusive, let's say immersive program, you'll have Monday for your accommodation, Tuesday meal accommodation, Wednesday meal accommodation, Thursday meal accommodation, Friday meal accommodation, check out Saturday. If you live locally and you don't need that, you'll just do the workshop. And if you're residential, you'll leave Saturday morning. And we're really, really happy with this option for the accommodation. The alternative is to just stay locally and not do your immersive. Okay.
So this is going to be, with Linda, the biggest training event we've done since 2018, because sadly we had to cancel our academy last year. So True. This is going to be as many people as we can get into our showroom here on a 4-day training course.
Yep. Absolutely, and fantastic. You know, Linda's got some lovely ideas about her teaching and how she's going to do that and what it's going to comprise.
I know lots of you have got used to doing online classes, but there's nothing quite like hands-on with the teacher there.
That's right.
To help you out, and Linda is a great teacher.
As was demonstrated at Festival of Quilts. So I will be doing an email newsletter, should be going out Sunday evening, and in that newsletter I'll point to my blog about Orla and her beginner quilt. So if you don't manage to find the blog post, there'll be a link on there. But I'll be putting some photos up as well on a separate blog, and also links to the videos. There's some special Festival of Quilts offers. How that will work is if you are interested in a brand new machine, that's a Moxie, Capri, Sweet, Amara, Infinity or Forte, we've got some fantastic offers on accessories. Machine prices are what they are. But if you want like a ruler pack, or there's like a thread heaven pack, or there's a, what do we call it? The works on these. I think it's really good. So if you want a Moxie with the works or a Capri with the works, if you're interested in that, it'll be a deposit by the end of August 2021 for delivery within a certain time period. Email us or call us, not today or tomorrow. We'll be back in on Monday, and we can send you all the details as a PDF. And that would be fantastic because we've got more machines coming in, hopefully next week. And they are selling like hotcakes at the moment, aren't they, Pete? We are busy.
As usual, after festival each year, this is our busiest time of the year for the next 3 months.
It is. So we're delighted that we're so busy. But, you know, as people have been feeding back to us, it's all about the support. It's all about the education. A quick little story. A customer came along 3 or 4 weeks ago. I spent a long time here. And I thought, great, she's definitely going to go Handi Quilter. Anyway, she went off somewhere else afterwards and she bought the somewhere else afterwards machine. I was gutted. I won't deny it. I was gutted. She came to the show and I was chatting away to somebody else and I thought, gosh, I recognise her. And I said, so which Handi Quilter have you got? And she said, oh, I haven't. I bought this other brand. I went, oh yeah, you were that customer that I demoed to for 5 hours. Yeah, I remember you now. And she said, well, presumably I can come to you for classes. And I went, okay. Right, well, the way it works is like this. And I said, our priority is our Handi Quilter customers. So if we fill our classes with Handi Quilter owners, then there won't be any spaces left. But however, if there are spaces left, you will be very welcome to come to our classes. That's how it works. And that's what happened in 2018 when we ran our academy. We had 3 places left. So after a month, we opened up how many places did we have? 35 places on our very first Handi Quilter
36,
Academy.
I think it was. Yes.
36 places. So we had, all our Handi Quilter owners had an option to come to our academy. And we only had 36 places in that first year that we'd only been running a year. So we had 36 places and we had 3 places available to non-Handi Quilter owners. And we sold those to non-Handi Quilter owners. All 3 of those people now own Handi Quilters. Okay? The second academy that we ran that we didn't run because we had to cancel it with COVID, but we sold out in 15 minutes. And we sold out completely.
And that was 54
spaces in 15 minutes, all went to Handi Quilter owners. So what are the chances that this lady who decided not to buy a Handi Quilter is going to get a place? Not very high. So that's what we're doing now. And I said, you know, I'm really sorry, but the chances are that we won't have places, but you will be very welcome if we do. And what about your machine manufacturer? Do they offer education? No, she said, they don't. Okay. So what will you do for training? She said, I'll use YouTube. Okay. Okay. Should you ever wish to move to Handi Quilter, I said, you would be very, very welcome to come to the showroom again. Okay, that's great. And we left on good terms. We did. And I'm sure she'll come back. I am pretty sure she'll come back. But I was disappointed that she didn't buy a Handi Quilter because she was a really good quilter. She had beautiful piecing. And I was gutted. Okay, I think that's all I want to say for now. As my dad says, You can't bat 100 every time. But we all learn. We all learn. So, Pete, anything else you'd like to add? Any comments from anybody? Because it's 12 o'clock. I've been yakking away for an hour. Actually, 50 minutes, because we were 10 minutes late because I put the wrong lead in the camera. Wasn't I? That was my fault. I put the wrong lead in the camera. But we always do a check. And I discovered I'd put the wrong lead in the camera.
Yep, nothing much else to say. I mean, what we've been trying to get across this morning is that we're the long arm specialists in the UK. There's nobody else like us. There's nobody else with a facility like ours. There's nobody else who's put the investment in the machines and the training and the education and everything that goes behind that. So if that's something that's of value to you and you're looking at a new machine, just think about it.
And I think, I mean, I do know the numbers. And if I just say that where other manufacturers sell in the tens, we sell in the hundreds. That's why we can run a class with 12 and 14 people at a time. So, which makes it economic. And we've got all of this fantastic space. And it's wonderful to fill it with customers who are passionate about quilting. So
okay, and Rosemary, no accessory offers this week. The person who does our picking is on holiday this coming week.
She is.
And we also need to get organised after festival. We've got a few demonstrations coming up.
I've got one on Monday.
But listen, we will be back doing specific offers in a week or two for sure. Yeah. We've got some new products coming in.
We have. We've got some new products coming in, and I want to do some offers on those. So you will have some really exciting new products coming in that you will want to, you may like to add to your shopping basket in due course. So whatever you're doing in terms of your quilting, I hope if you came to festival, you had some lovely things in your Handi Quilter bag that you might have been walking around with, or in the case of Judy, that I might have taped onto the back of your chair. And thank you, Judy, for putting up with that. And whoever else came, I hope you had a wonderful time. You felt inspired, because I definitely did. There were some amazing quilts there. And enjoy the email newsletter. For those of you who didn't go, I hope that some of my Facebook Lives were of interest. There's the one on the Bristol quilters. I loved meeting the lovely lady who was from Bristol Quilters, who, I mean, I couldn't believe it actually. When I bumped into her, that was so funny, because I spent quite a lot of time with her at a quilt retreat, and it was brilliant to bump into her again. And a bit of time with my brother, looking at his quilts, and we did a joint collaboration that will be at the National Trust property in 2022, when Nick and Kaif and Brandon are going to be there. More details from Cotton Patch, actually, of the joint collaboration. Nick, my brother, made the quilt and I quilted it, and it will be kept at Hidcut because it was a commission. Isn't that nice? A joint project between me and my brother. Lovely. So that's everything. We're going to crack on. I'm going to get those workshops uploaded so that anybody who wants to come on some of those lovely workshops with Abigail and myself, and Abigail for some of those extra ones on Dream Big, and the workshop on the Table Runner and the Rulers, Feathers and Fills. We hope you can join us for one of those in September. Lovely. Enjoy your week, everybody.
See you next week.
See you next week.